That's all I'm doing. I'm hoping and praying that this stream's actually doing shit. I love how it killed him. Whoops, I really should be using the... One thing I like is where you're facing, you can do a quick camera focus by pressing the R1 button, which is really nice. It's something that you might want to get used to when you're playing it, but you also have the option of changing the camera manually as well. There's some really interesting controls that this game has, which are pretty nice actually, in certain ways, but at the same time, they're kind of not. It depends on what you're... It depends on a lot of things, really. The controls are a mixed bag in certain ways. It has a lot of interesting things about it. Like, especially with the camera controls. One thing I will definitely say is, out of all the character action games, this game has a pretty damn good camera. Like, it really does. Whoops. Mainly because, unlike God Hand, you can just turn around like this, which makes a big difference, and then you can move the camera in any direction you want. So that's pretty good for, like, considering this is Capcom and all. Like, out of all Capcom's character action games, this game has the best camera. Like, it does. Better than Devil May Cry. Like, that game's camera might as well not exist. I mean, most of Devil May Cry is just static camera anyways, so yeah, but when it comes to cameras, this is their best camera, which is kind of funny because this game is usually considered to be the inferior of all of Capcom's character action games. Mainly because, well, I think my review covers why, pretty much. But there are some good qualities, obviously, like, that's one thing that I do want to mention. But yeah, it's really weird, because I've been playing God Hand, in case you haven't already been guessing. It's really weird to play this after I played God Hand, mainly because the controls are just completely different. But the controls in this, like, for the camera, brilliant. Like, I can just literally, and when you hold the button down, you can hold the button and do a dodge roll and shit. Like, I like that. I really do like how you have a lot of control over the camera using just a single button press to, like, move around. So much easier. God Hand really needs that. I don't know why I went backwards, but apparently I did. I've never actually gone backwards before. Oh, it's respawned them, has it? Yeah, I thought I might as well grab that. It's been ages since I played this on normal. Like, normal on this game is absolutely ruthless. Not as ruthless as God Hand, but it's still pretty damn shit. Like, well, shit difficulty, as I like to call it. Well, not shit difficulty. Like, you can tell, like, I've just completely lost my train of thought, because I've been thinking of so many things. Basically, what I mean to say is it's hard difficulty. It's still hard. Pretty much. Yeah, I'm doing shit here. And there's everybody around, and they're all trying to kill me. I was trying to see if I could perform a counter there, but apparently not. Apparently that's not happening. So I guess I'm going to have to bring in the big guns. This game is ruthlessly hard at the start, though. Like, that's another reason why I wouldn't recommend this to anyone if that's the case, because of how ruthlessly hard this game is. But it's definitely a lot more forgiving than God Hand. That's one thing I can definitely say. Like, I kind of put this game on the same level as, in terms of difficulty, probably somewhere along the lines between Devil May Cry 4 and Devil May Cry 3. I don't think it's as ruthless as Devil May Cry 1. And I don't think it's, well, that's the thing. I think it's actually between, because Devil May Cry 3 is a very hard game, even though you get a lot more control in that game. It's ruthlessly hard because of a lot of reasons. I mean, this game has a better camera than Devil May Cry 3, but everything else, Devil May Cry 3 is better. Like, it is. I think that goes without saying, really. Like, I miss having all the moves right from the get-go. It really does help when you have all the moves right from the get-go. There's not really much you can do at the start of the game, because it's just mindless hacking and slashing right at the beginning, because, like, there's no cool shit you can do, because you don't really have any abilities. This game really gets better later on, though. It's just one of those games that's just absolute shit at the start. Like, it really is. Like, this is probably one of the harder games to get into, if you ask me. Out of all of Capcom's games, this is probably one of the hardest to get into. Whoops. I mean, God Hand gives you quite a lot to work with early on, it just has a ridiculous control scheme. Whereas this game, it has a good camera, like, the ability to move camera and a lot, and I keep pressing that for the camera button. Do you know why I'm pressing the Legion button? Because that's the freaking turnaround button for freaking God Hand. You see what I mean? How God Hand has the worst controls ever in a... That's the thing, a lot of people call these games character action games. Like, I'm starting to think of calling them 3D beat-em-ups, because, let's be honest, that's what they are. But in a 3D beat-em-up, like, I'd easily argue that, like, God Hand has the worst controls ever. I mean, Chaos Legion's controls aren't that bad compared to... Like, they are pretty bad compared to Devil May Cry and a few other more modern action games, but as far as Capcom's games go, like, it's not the worst. Because at least it has a good camera. I mean, the thing about the controls with this game is, like, the fact that you have to have this on to do the dodging and stuff, it takes a bit of getting used to. Mainly because, like, you usually won't be doing it and that lot. But also the fact that you have to lock on first and then whatever you're locked onto. Yeah. But I do like the camera changing and how you can change the camera, like, instantly. Like, that is such a big deal. So you can basically completely change the camera just by pressing one button. That's awesome. God Hand really needs that. It really does. Why God Hand doesn't have this type of movement and camera control is beyond me. Like, it really should. And the silly thing is, if you can do this in Chaos Legion, like, I'm not even using the analog stick to control the camera here. I'm just using the R1 button, which would probably be the L1 button in God Hand. So basically, like, if I'm hacking and slashing here, I can change the camera midway. Now that might sound complicated, but once you get into it, it actually isn't really that complicated. You just basically press a button, and yeah. Now, granted, it's not immediate, which is probably the one thing that is kind of annoying. If it was immediate, it probably would be a much bigger deal, but you have to hold it down. That's the only thing you have to get used to. So, like, for example, if there's an enemy over here, and then you turn around, you have to hold it down, and that can take a few minutes. So that's probably the only problem with it, but if they refined that, they could probably do something with God Hand. And they probably wouldn't have... And also, like, sped up the tank controls a little bit, because those are pretty bad. Right, I'm going to do this boss fight, and I'm going to see how the recording went. Because one of the reasons why I'm doing this is so I can get screen capture review, because even though I did a let's play of this game, the quality of the images is terrible. And I don't want bad quality images. Pretty much. I love how you can just sit here and, like, just have Thanatos do everything for you. Yeah, it's just too easy. In case you haven't already guessed, this is one of those games that... It's one of those games that, for some reason, I like this game, but at the same time, it's absolutely terrible by today's standards. Like, it really is. I'm not even going to watch the cutscenes. They are the ultimate cringe. Pretty much. As if this video isn't any better. But I am doing a testing video, so you gotta understand that. Right, let's try level 2. Hope none of this actually works as well. Like, because my capture card can just cut out at any minute. So, if it cuts out and you can't see anything, know that it's my capture card that's just completely fucked up. Like, it has to be in a specific position to do recording. I have no idea why, but it does. This is rough, because you start off with basically nothing. Yeah, you lose your Legion. And at this point, thankfully there aren't as many enemies that you have to contend with, but yeah, I can change the camera now. My advice if you do play Chaos Legion is, the first thing you want to get used to is learning how to change the camera rapidly using the R1 button. Like, you'll thank me for that later if you ever do decide to pick this game up. Now, if you notice, my combo's gone up. There's a reason for that. Whoops. Yeah, I'm trying to land a counter on them. Like, this is as simple as you can get for, like, 3D hack and slash game. Like, it really is. At least at the beginning. Oops, I actually used the wrong move completely there. Like, I was trying to actually use like, this move right here. That was the perfect move to use at that moment, but yeah, I kind of fucked up. Right, so I want to get the XP gems. It can really help as well, so you can like, tell, like, if there's an enemy behind you, you can just go to the left. And if there's an enemy over there, which you'll need to do this quite often in this game. Like, if you've noticed, my health has gone down as well. That's another perk of having Thanatos. But, as you can see, with different Legions equipped, you have different kind of like features. That's another one of the game's many quirks. Like, I can use different special moves based on the Legion that I have equipped. But, like, this one's very basic, and, like, you don't really get too many, extra moves early on. Yeah, I was hoping that it would actually do something else there. But, yeah. Like, I missed Beatdown, like, or Breakdown as it's called, which is a launching attack. Yeah, that guy just hit me right there. Because that attack's really good. Yeah, I got him there. And there's these guys over here who like to do this rolling attack. Which is their counter window, and they have a pretty long counter window as well. Alright, exploiting counter windows is a big part of this game. Yeah, I wanted to get to him, but I couldn't. I'm probably not going to last long. But I'll probably give it a few more goes since it's this early. This game really does get challenging. It really does. There we go. But yeah. I'm not gonna lie, today's been a pretty frustrating day for me. I want to just heal up because I know that otherwise I'm going to get destroyed. Like, over the course of the game, your character does get stronger, you gain power-ups, which are permanent power-ups, which will basically increase your stats. So, it's kind of like an RPG, you just don't have level-ups. Well, you kind of do, but it's more like RPG mechanics in modern-day games, pretty much. That's kind of what this game is. Like, it's like Devil May Cry has had them as well with the upgrade shop and stuff. It's like a way to artificially make you more powerful. Let's put it that way. But yeah. And there's a Thanatos chip. But we're gonna have to fight some more enemies. Like, I remember when I did my playthrough of this game like ages ago, I did it on easy. This is on normal. This is the harder difficulty. Like, I'm definitely not going to go far in this. I can tell you that for one, because especially... Oh, I thought I could counter him. Yeah, that didn't work well. I hit him hard, though. But yeah. And I'm dead. It doesn't take long to kill you in this game. It really doesn't. Yeah, Substrata, I'm having a hard time today recording Chaos Legion. It's not easy. Because I have to use a capture card for it, so... This is my first time using the capture card, pretty much. But yeah, I thought I'd play this instead, just because of the irony. After playing God Hand, I thought I'd play this. Plus, I need to get some footage as well, because I'm doing a review of this game as well, so... Like... Whoops. As for Nier Automata, I'm really bored of that game. I'm honestly bored of it. Like, I want to play something else, and that's why I'm playing this instead, because I thought, fuck it, I haven't streamed in ages, I need to get footage, I'm just gonna do this. Because, like, my Nier Automata review, that can wait. Whoops. Yeah, I really should be using guilt here. But yeah, one thing that this game definitely has is a great camera. It's probably got the best camera out of all of the Capcom games, really. Like, it really does. Like, out of all the Capcom beat-em-ups, like, side-scrolling beat-em-ups, like, this has probably got the best camera, because you can just change it at will like that. Which is really handy. Especially in a game like this, you really want it. Yeah, these guys can really control the crowd. They really can. Which is really good. I don't think I have to kill all these anyways. I could just run past. But I thought I'd kill a few of them. Yeah, pretty much, like... I'd say they're a bit of a mixed bag in some way, because, like... I don't know, like, it takes some getting used to use the dodging in this game. Like, if you want to do dodge rolls and shit. Like, it's a bit clunky, if you know what I mean. That's the one problem with the controls. Like, the button for, like, instantly changing the camera is also the dodge button. But it's not the instant dodge, you have to press it and then press X in the direction, which is a bit awkward because you have to hold it down. That's my main complaint with the controls. But, yeah. It's like... Usually I have to heal up here anyways, because... Well, yeah. I mean, the silly thing is, my review of this game isn't actually going to be very favourable. Which is kind of funny, because I really like this game. But my review is actually going to address a lot of issues that this game has. So it's kind of going to be an interesting one, simply because it's going to be like a mostly negative review of a game that is kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine. So, I mean, that's the thing, I like this game because, like, it's flawed and that lot, but I can kind of appreciate it despite the flaws. But, like, I definitely wouldn't recommend this game to anyone. Like, because it's just one of those games that is just so, like, really hard to get into and really rough around the edges. But once you get into it, like, near the end, this game gets really awesome because you get tons of abilities and stuff, which you don't have at this moment. Like, it's just mash X to win. That's all this game is right now. But I suppose it is mindless. It's definitely a lot less, like, physically intensive when compared with God Hand. Like, but when it comes to, like, because God Hand has all these QTEs, yeah, there's a lot of enemies everywhere. Even with the camera, it's very difficult to keep up with what's going on in this bit. And the best part about it is I'm not actually using the analog stick for the camera. Like, I'm using the R1 button to change the camera angles, but apparently that's not enough because enemies are at every angle. And I have to deal with, like, all that shit. And it's kind of weird because this game, like, it has a lock-on system, but, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, like, because you have to press this button to, like, do anything like dodging and shit. And since there's so many enemies on the screen, it's just, like, kind of ridiculous. Like, these kind of games, like Dynasty Warriors and shit, where there's tons of enemies on the screen, like, I kind of find that in some cases they're quite fundamentally flawed because of the fact that there's no real way to, like, locking onto enemies isn't effective in a way. But, like, I let that slide because it's kind of, well, yeah, you are right about that. Like, it's one of those games that you can really learn a lot from this game. I do think that anyone who wants to make a, like, 3D beat 'em up should really play this game because it has a lot of really cool ideas. I mean, but yeah, that's the thing. It's just like there's tons of enemies on screen. Like, doesn't really, like, the lock-on function doesn't really have that much purpose. One thing I do like about this game, though, is it has some pretty cool boss fights and music as well. If I can actually hit the guy. And I can constantly focus in on the boss, so it's not like the boss is going to be really difficult. Because I just, like, with the boss fights, you can just focus in on them in, like, whoops, that went well. You can just focus in on them and, like, use your, like, the camera control button to instantly focus the camera on them, which is really good. Whoops. I'm trying to hit his side. I think you can probably tell why. Because that's the only way to damage the guy. Oh god, these guys. But yeah, they can't really do much to me. But yeah, I want to keep away from him and then hit him now while he's running on, like, walking around me and shit. Well, I'm not the best at this game at all. Like, I'm terrible at it, to be perfectly honest. Because I did my Let's Play of this game. Well, I didn't do a Let's Play, because I didn't have any commentary back then, but I did a playthrough of this game, like, ages ago on YouTube, and I took it down, but, like, I did it. But when I did it, it wasn't, like, I did it on easy difficulty. I shouldn't have jumped there. Yeah, I've noticed that. It's something to do with my capture card. That's the problem. Like, I don't know why it's doing that, but my capture card is the worst piece of shit ever. That's probably why. Like, I've always had problems with this thing, it's terrible. Well, actually no, this is my third capture card that I've got right here. Like, I actually didn't have this capture card originally, it was an ESCAP, but... Like, maybe it's because I'm a cheapskate, that might be why, because this capture card isn't expensive. I've not got an Elgato or a Dazzle, it's a freaking, like, Climax Digital. That's what this is. Which is better than my last one, because it didn't overheat as much as the ESCAP did. That was horrendous. But... I've always had a problem with splitters, and trying to, like, get the video actually working, because, like, actually getting the splitters to hit with the video, like, capture the video and shit has been a pain in the ass. But yeah, this boss isn't that bad, it's very simple, which is what it kind of needs to be. The boss I kind of like is the boss in level 6. Oh no, level 7 boss, yeah, that boss. I like that boss a lot. And yeah, it has to summon ads as well. These guys are really easy to counter, because they're always going to hit you. Oh shit. Yeah, I can't actually dodge pretty well, to be honest. But at least I don't have to press like 100 buttons like in freaking God Hand. Like, you know that something's seriously messed up when God Hand's more difficult than this. Like, any game being more difficult than this is messed up in a way. I'm gonna just use another healing item because I'm not gonna like chance it. And I can get plenty of them later. That's one thing that this game has plenty of, like, healing items, which God Hand has none. That's another thing that God Hand doesn't have, that Devil May Cry does. Oh, I did do the dodge that time. Yeah, I can just finish this guy off, it's not that hard, but... Yeah, I really wish I had some more moves, because this game is really fun when you have tons and tons of... Wow, that was shit. I had an invincibility window, thankfully, but that could have ended horribly. Fortunately, I do have one more life healing. That's the thing, that you get health in this game. You don't get health in God Hand, so it's like... Well, you do, but you have to pick it out of boxes. That's another thing that really pisses me off about when games do that shit. Like, it really annoys me. Fortunately, I have... Oh, shit. That's great. Let's just get Guilt to just finish the job. Because Guilt can still deal damage to this guy. Ah, yeah, that sorted the problem. That sorted the job out. Yeah, you can see how much I suck at this game, the fact that I barely got past that boss. But at least we finally get a decent Legion this time. Yeah, Malice is really good. Malice is a lot better than using Guild. I mean, I go on about Chaos Legion all the time. You'd think that I'd be making a really positive review about the game, but... Like, I don't believe in misleading people into, like, playing a game that they probably won't like. But yeah, I definitely want to level him up. I've been using that a lot, but that's the best thing to level up. Get his enchants. But what I want to do is get some items and use them on him so I can, like, unlock that. Because when you get enchants, as you know, like, you get more moves, and that's what I want to do. Give him more attacks. I do know the next level's an absolute bitch to do. But having that is going to be really handy. Like, this is a very rough playthrough. Well, you could say that, like, it's kind of like Devil May Cry and Devil Summoner. Like, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. I'm guessing that is that, because I haven't played it, but it seems that that's the sort of thing, if it's summoning... Because that's what this is, you're summoning kind of like a demonic legion sort of thing, and they kind of are demonic in Awakening. This is like the most... Like, aside from Shadow the Hedgehog, this is probably the edgiest game of all time. And I'm not complaining, because, like, I don't mind edgy games. Like, That's why I joke about them so much, because edgy games are enjoyable to me. Like, what's the point in playing a game that, like, what's the point in playing a game like this where the premise isn't dark and edgy? Like, you're supposed to be, like, a badass. That's the whole point. You're playing a game where you are kicking ass and taking names. Like, I don't mind it being goofy, of course, but, like, there's nothing wrong with a bit of edge in a game like this. Like, I mean, it depends on what the game is, but in this case, an edgy game isn't really a problem. Oh god, these guys. Fortunately, I have this to deal with them. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. That game is the definition of edge. But I've never been a Sega fan to begin with. Yeah, I really do like this Legion a lot. It's always good with Malice. I think everybody who's played this game likes Malice. I mean, the silly thing is, there are different ways to end a combo. You just got to, like, look for them, if you know what I mean. Especially, like, you can finish with that and stuff, if you time it right, but there's, like, little point in doing so. It's just, like, once you get, like, the ability to, like, back dodge, you can really do some crazy finishes, and it looks pretty cool. It doesn't really have any other effects, but it doesn't really need to, really. Like, when you unlock all the shit that this game has, it gets really awesome. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, the way you're supposed to use the Legions is you're supposed to, like, go in and out between them. And mix them up. Like, for example, when I do this, I can use that, and then I got hit. This wasn't good. So you can mix up combos in a way with that attack, but that's kind of what Guilt is all about, really. And I think that's pretty cool, how you can, like, mix your combos with your Legions for a different finisher. It kind of, like, the way it is, it's kind of like Dynasty Warriors with a gimmick. That's what it is. Like, you have your basic attack move, and your special attack move is different depending on what Legion you have. That's basically it. But the thing about this game is, for its time, like, considering the fact that we just had Devil May Cry 2 before this, and, like, Devil May Cry 2 being Devil May Cry 2, and then you get this. This is like what Devil May Cry 2 should have been, if you think about it. That's what this game is. That's kind of what Chaos Legion is. It's the real Devil May Cry 2. And I'll always say it is. Because it's got the grimdark setting of Devil May Cry 2, that's one thing for certain. But one thing it doesn't, like, one thing it has that Devil May Cry doesn't have is, like, cool Legions that can, like, do some cool shit. You actually have to fight with the sword half the time, because, well, granted you can use this for these enemies, but you can't use them for most enemies because they won't die. Like, I mean, in a way, this is basically, gameplay-wise, this is as close to Painkiller as a counter-action game will ever get. Like, you just walk between one stage to the next, and then more enemies show in. Like, it's basically Painkiller, but it's a counter-action game. That's what this is, gameplay-wise. But not really setting-wise, because obviously Devil May Cry has more in common in terms of setting. Like, Devil May Cry 2 has the setting, whereas this has the gameplay. Except that this is an action game, and yeah, it's a bit different. The other thing is, this game is on the PC as well, which is pretty awesome. I wish I had the PC version now. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I always used to joke that Painkiller was Devil May Cry with guns. Whoops. Because that's essentially what it is. Yeah. Like, using that regular combo gets tiring after a while, but I think what we'll do Oops. But yeah, I do like how the lock-on function works, like how it locks on with the legions and stuff. Like, I mean, it's a shame that it can't be an auto lock-on, but I think that's mainly, looking at it, I think it's mainly due to how the game is. And I think that's one of the big problems, the fact that the lock-on doesn't automatically lock the camera to it. You have to manually do that. But I think, like I say, it's because it's a Dynasty Warriors style game, in the sense that there's tons of enemies on screen. But I'd still really like to see that, like, the lock-on actually lock on without having to hold the button down. Because if you notice, like, I move really slow, like, even slower when I'm doing this mode. And my movement is a lot more limited when I'm using this as well. Whoops, that went well. Let's see if I can actually use something different. Like, what I want to do is try and hit this guy without getting hit by the thing. I don't know if there's a spawner. I think there might be, actually. But this is basically, like, the way this game is set up is basically how every single game should be set up, if you ask me. Like, just no bullshit puzzles, just basically kill everything. And that's it, that's the game. I mean, I might suck at it, but that's definitely one thing that I do like about this game. Like, it's all about, like, focus on the gameplay, nothing else. Which is how I like it. Just nothing but shooting and killing. Well, killing mostly. No puzzles to do in this game. You just kill everything. Granted, there isn't any puzzles to do in God Hand. That game just fucks up your freaking back because you get backache after playing it for like half an hour. Like, that game just breaks up, like, it works up a sweat just playing that game, whereas this game, it's just kind of chill. Like, even if you did, like, play it like trying to play like pro, it's a lot less, like, the pacing is a lot slower than God Hand, because it's more of a thinking man's game after all, is this game. Like, there is some element of timing, but it's not as big as, like, other games, like God Hand. And even Devil May Cry doesn't really make you work up as much of a sweat. It kind of does in a way, but this game is just so chill compared with them. It's still hard, but in a different way. It's not, like, too much, like, action, because it's more focused on, like, thinking over, like, reaction. It's kind of what it's all about. Like, I didn't really have to kill all the enemies, but because... Oh yeah, I completely forgot it has this bit, which is pretty awesome. It saps your soul, but it kills... Whoops. I think I actually got hit by that. Fuck. Oh god, we're getting to this bit now. This bit's a pain in the ass. Oh boy, it's done it again. The analog just turns off, like, randomly. I don't know, maybe I need a new PS2 controller. Maybe that's what I need. This controller seems like... I've had this controller for ages. Hope I get more life and stuff because there's a boss who's probably going to kick me out. I like how it gives me an invincible in there. Well, if I kind of like break energy, like, it'd be awesome. But, oh, that finishing hit really did it? That's probably because of my capture card. Actually, no, it's probably because of my splitters. That'll be why. Because my splitters just decide sometimes it's going to actually, like, work with the audio, and sometimes it's not. Same. Yeah, avoid that over there. I can just have them do all the work. Usually that's the easiest thing to do. Like, I think that's like... Oh. The game audio. I can easily adjust that. I can easily adjust that in OBS. If I can actually go to OBS and lower the actual game audio. Now it should be a lot better. Yeah, that should be a lot better, hopefully. And hopefully it still works after that, because I've actually touched my capture card lead, which isn't good. That was pretty good, actually. But unfortunately, yeah, I actually managed to dodge that, thankfully. Like, I don't think I'll ever do a Let's Play of this game. Like, that's never going to happen, because I do so shit at this game that it would take 100 billion parts just to do, like, level 11. Because that level is an absolute nightmare to do. But I don't even have ground zero, so I can't actually do, like, skip to the actual finisher. Yeah, it was OBS, I turned it up a bit because I was experimenting. Whoops, I nearly hit him. But I didn't manage to hit him. I like how you can counter that, but I'm actually going to go for this guy because fuck it. Whoops. You have to really land the lock on like that. I mean, the thing is that... There we go, that's what I wanted to do. The thing is that Godhand could learn a lot from this game. It really could, like... If they actually bothered to, like, add this camera changing function, it'd probably be a lot better. Because you could be really accurate with what you're doing. Which you can't be at this point. And that's the problem. God, I'm dreading the boss fight that's coming. Because I know that the boss fight that's coming is going to be really hard, so... This isn't actually the hardest part as well, like the next level is where it gets really difficult. Oh boy, I've just picked up the chip and now everybody's attacking me now. It'd be easier to get from a better viewpoint, like over here would be nice. And then get over here, and then get... I can't really decide. You put it on defense mode, which would be nice. Whoops. I forgot that they stop in place like that. Yeah, I really don't have any life recovery at all, so... Like, you can see how much I'm dying in this, like, you want to see how much I'm dying in Godhand. Like, it's ridiculous. Well, I actually haven't died yet, but I am losing health a lot, so... This would basically be the equivalent of death in Godhand. Yeah, pretty much, like... I mean, it's like, for example, I'm more familiar with Painkiller than I am this game. But it's not that I haven't played this game little, it's just that I'm shit at this game. I won't say I'm not familiar with this game, because I kind of am, it's just that I'm just not good at it. It's like, I'm familiar with Warcraft 3, doesn't really mean that I'm really good at it. Like, it's like, I know, like, even the gameplay, I know how the gameplay works of Warcraft 3, like, just build frostworms and spiders and then you win. That's basically how you win at Warcraft 3. That's the game. Like, and obviously you can do Karen's hippos, that's another way you can do it, but like, it's execution that's the hard bit. Like, that's pretty much the hard thing. Like, it's kind of tricky really, because I'm more of a thinking type person, but I'm not into the slow pacing of, like, thinking man's games, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like turn-based RPGs, for example, because, like, I just find that they're just too slow paced. But then you get games like Mount and Blade, which I absolutely love, because it's got, like, action-y gameplay, but it's very tactical at its core. That's why I like Mount and Blade, because it has the best of both, you know what I mean? But really I should, in theory, enjoy, like, more strategy games, really, than actual action games, but it's just that I don't, because I'm not I just don't like the pacing of strategy games, you know what I mean? Like, they're just too slow. I want something quick, and these action games do that for me. I mean, another thing now that I'll add is I did recording. Like, you'll probably know, but I did recording for the Star Ocean LP. And, like, I got to the third part and recorded it, and there was no sound. So, I don't know what... Oh, there, I'm dead. Yep. Let's redo. Oh, I have to start from the beginning. Great. That's one thing I will say that God Hand does well at. Checkpoints. Pretty much. Whereas this game is just kind of like... whatever with the checkpoints. Like, it's just like, you have to start again. It's like, boo-hoo, you died, now you start again. But it's usually a good idea to cancel into that if you don't have anything else, because the finisher has a long animation. But I just want to kill these guys quickly. Like... But yeah, you are right about the whole, like, LPing a game. You want to be familiar with it. That's kind of the whole point. But, I don't know, like, I kind of get something from watching blind LPs, I'm not gonna lie. Unless it's DSP, like, I actually don't mind watching people lose. Like, it's actually kind of fun. It's part of the fun when you see someone who hasn't played the game actually play the game for the first time. I actually like that. But usually for entertainment value, really, like, if I want to know where to go or a guide, then yeah, like, if I want an actual full, like, walkthrough, then I want to actually know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I think this is time to bring out Guilt here. Pretty much. Whoops. Yeah, Guilt isn't very good against those guys, but he can control the crowd a little bit. So they can kill those guys while I grab the items. That sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, I mean, I suck with even games that I know. That's the thing, like I know this game, but I suck with it. That's the point that I've been saying, really. Like, it's like I know Warcraft 3, but I still suck at the game. Like, doesn't matter how many times I play it, I'll still be terrible at it. Pretty much. Like, real-time strategy just is not my thing at all. Like, it's like, I want some... Whoops. Like, that's what I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it in time. You're probably going to have to get another life up. But yeah, this is how you don't play Chaos Legion. Just putting that out there. This is how scrubs play Chaos Legion. That's what this is. I can't imagine DSP doing any worse than I do in this game, let's put it that way. Because this game, like, it's not like you have many options at the start anyways. Like, even the most die-hard fan of Chaos Legion has to admit that you really don't get many options at the beginning. It's just hack and slash. And that's one of the biggest turn-offs of this game, because how can you get a player motivated when you don't empower them? Like, that's the thing, you do empower them right from the start, but once you get rid of it, then you really feel gimped, because you don't feel like you can do much. As for God Hand, it's kind of like, there's just too much. Like, too many things to control at once, that it just becomes ridiculous. Ah, I've got the wrong Legion equipped. I mean, I'll admit, I do have those moments where I do blame the game. It's part of the frustration. I think we all have it. But unlike DSP, like, I don't make out that I'm a master of them right from the get-go. Like, I just think that DSP just needs to be a bit more professional with his videos. That's basically what he needs to be, like, because he isn't. He has no professional integrity whatsoever. He's just like, he thinks that he's like so big when he's not. Like, he thinks that he's so hardcore and he really isn't. Like, just like, people just need to admit that they're terrible at something. But even then, like, even if you admit that you're terrible at something, like, you can still find games, like, painfully hard. And even when you're terrible at something, sometimes you're just not going to be any good at a game at some point. Because it's just like, I played F-Zero GX sometimes and I've done absolutely shitty. Like, you're not going to always be consistently good at a game. It's just not going to happen. It's just not realistic to expect that to happen. Because, like, you need to be in the moment to actually, like, get that feel that you can actually do what you need to do. Because you get momentum. And that's kind of the thing, you see. Like, with F-Zero GX, like, when I do well in F-Zero GX, it's because I have that momentum. And the game is built around building that momentum. I mean, the sort of thing is, like, people say F-Zero GX is really hard, when it really isn't. I mean, story mode is hard, I'm not going to deny that. Like, story mode is brutal, but the game itself is really easy. If you play on novice difficulty, the game's a joke. Like, the game is an absolute joke. Now, F-Zero X, on the other hand, is really hard because of the way that the freaking AI cheat to the top all the time because of its, like, because of the Grand Prix standings. Like, if you don't get first in every race, you are going to get screwed in F-Zero X. Pretty much. Like, you're expected to get first every time, when in GX you aren't. So, it's a much harder game just for that alone. Because if you don't get first in F-Zero X, then you're going to get absolutely anal. That was perfect timing for that. I mean, one thing I do like about this game is, aside from Malice, it focuses on, like, close-range combat. That's one of the things that I want to see more of, like a sword fighting game which has, like, absolutely no, like, gunplay whatsoever, because, come on, this is a beat-em-up. It's all about hacking and slashing. It's not about shooting. It's not a shoot-em-up, it's a beat-em-up. I want to hammer things with a sword. It's one of the things that annoys me about Nier Automata, because, like, you can use the guns and never need to use the sword, because what's the point in using swords? Granted, Devil May Cry for the most part does encourage that, aside from the second game, but, like, I'm talking, like, in general. I mean, the sort of thing about this game is, a lot of the time, the best strategy to do is usually the most silly one. Like, just running around shooting these guys, like, time and time again, until the spawner dies. But it's the most effective way, so you do it. Yeah, I could see that he was about to get killed there, if he did that any longer. I mean, I could make this easier for myself by positioning the camera so I could actually... But I just think this is easy enough as it is. Like, I could position the camera... Yeah, I'll see you soon, Strider. I could position the camera in a way that makes this easier. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing more of these streams, just simply so I can get some footage. That's why I do all my streams, for footage, pretty much. That might change at some point, but I really do want to get this footage, because it's something that I really want to get for my review. And I have been considering doing a review for this game for a long time, and it's like, I'm doing 2 reviews at a time at the moment. Like, I'm already, like, even though I haven't finished the game, I've already started my not Nier Automata, like, I've already started my own Sphere Lather review. I won't publish it until I finish the game, don't worry about that. Like, and if I do have something else to say after I've finished the game, then I will change my review, but the chances of that happening are very low. Like, I pretty much know what I have to say on the game right now, so it's just a case of just filling it in, pretty much. As for Chaos Legion, it's just getting the images. I have the entire review done. It's not my best review, but it says what needs to be said about the game. Pretty much. It says that the game has its faults. It's pretty clunky. It's not the easiest to get to grips with, but I like it, and that's all that's to it. Like, sometimes you don't really need a reason to like a game, and Chaos Legion is one of them. Although, I will admit, part of the reason why I like this game is, well, it does have some qualities when you get later on in the game. Like, it feels epic to summon all, like, powerful legions and stuff. Like, it's one of those games that, it's one of those games that really makes you feel awesome. Like, it's really empowering game when done right, and that's the thing, like, when you get to the good stuff, you really feel empowered, but it just takes time to get to that good stuff, if that makes sense. And early on, you really don't have much to play with. Yeah, I wanted to counter him, but I couldn't counter him for God knows what reason. But at least this stream has actually kind of worked, even though I need to use an item now, because otherwise I will die. But yeah. But it's good that I'm also getting some images as well. But yeah, I will have to do this stream again, so probably will see more Chaos Legion streams if I can get this working, like, the second time, because it's an absolute bitch to get this working, like, before. Believe me, it's an absolute bitch to get this working. Ooh, that was a good counter. Like, there's also a move that you can unlock later on in the game, which allows you to kind of like do like a counter hit, which is pretty good because it counters what you do. Like, it counters an enemy right after they hit you. I think you get it from Arrogance, and it's pretty handy. I don't tend to like using it that much though, because I'd rather use Bad Karma. However, it doesn't cost any soul to use. It's just like, you can just do it and that's it. You just have to press the button at the right time when you get hit, and you'll instantly follow up with a counter move. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just need to kill this enemy here. Like, it really sucks to not have Air Blaze as well. Oh shit. That went well. Right, I'll give this one more go and then I'll probably end the stream. It's a short one, but it's something. But yeah, I think, like, playing games like Chaos Legion is really educational. Like, even though I'm terrible at the games, it's really important to play games like this, because they are educational to play. Like, it's one of those games that you play mainly for an educational, like, for educational reasons, but, I mean, it can be really fun later on in the game as well, but, like, one of the main reasons why I play it is for educational reasons. Oh, there's this guy over here in the corner. As for the landscapes, like, they never really bothered me. It's good that I can actually get some decent screenshots though that don't look like total ass. Yeah, you can really rapid fire these things as well. It's really handy when you've got tons of them. And then you can bring these guys out to finish the job. Guilt is really surprisingly good. Like, they can really help with crowd control against these type of enemies. Whoops. It would be nice to actually go around and see where that enemy is. It looks like I've got him. But it's pretty cool how it, like, when you activate the Legion, it knocks the enemy back as well. That's another cool thing that this game has. This game is all about the little things, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those games that has all the ideas, just not the execution. Like, when you're looking for a bank of ideas, this is where you go. But you look at this game thinking, how can we improve this concept? You know what I mean? And that's what Chaos Legion's all about. And kind of God Hand in a way. Like, the thing about, like, 3D beat-em-ups is there's a lot of room for improvement in the genre. Like, it surprises me that a lot of indie developers haven't really gone, like, some of them have, and the results haven't really been that brilliant, aside from Poxy Blade Zero, which has been pretty good. It's weird how a lot of indie developers haven't really bothered to try, like, with this genre. Like, it's really weird how you don't see many, like, many of this type of game, like, brought out by indie developers. Like, they're missing out. Like, this genre's a gold mine for indies. Like, it pretty much is. Like, I always said, if I was going to make a, whoops, I pressed the wrong button, by the way, because I was meaning to press the turn camera button, and because I played God Hand too much, I pressed the wrong button. That's what I was trying to do, the change camera button. I would have probably died anyways, but it's just nice to know that that's the reason why. Like, this is one of those scenarios where I really should have focused on this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. I've got plenty of soul, it's just my health is low. I'm not really that bothered about soul, to be honest. Yeah, they're dead at the moment. Just finish that guy off. Whoops, that went well. Now, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that are really good at this game. And they're probably laughing at me right now. Because of course, there's always going to be that one guy. Thankfully I'm still alive after that. Like, enemies will deal a fuck ton of damage on normal. Like, they really will. And that's why normal is so difficult in this game. Like, what is with Capcom and putting normal difficulty as hard difficulty by accident, apparently? Like, what is with that? Like, and that's the sort of thing, like, I don't think that God Hand was deliberately that hard from the get-go. Like, I don't think it was. I think it's, well, maybe it is, but I don't know, but I think it's just Capcom being Capcom with the stupid difficulty settings that they haven't. The sort of thing is, it isn't even made by Capcom, is, like, God Hand, it's made by Clover. But it is basically the same people. I don't know, actually, if it is the same people who made this, but, like, let's put it this way. The developers of Devil May Cry, Chaos Legion, and God Hand are very close. Pretty much. Like, I mean, there's not really much difference in a way. I mean, Clover has become part of Platinum Games, from what I've heard, so, yeah. What I don't know is, if there's a Devil May Cry 5, will it be any good? That's what I don't know. I'm only going from what I've heard, though. Maybe it will be good, maybe it won't be. Who knows? But yeah. I'll definitely say this, at least it's better than playing Nier Automata. And it's kind of fun to like play this and just suck, like, especially since I don't really give a shit at this point. Like, I'm just like, it's like I really don't give a shit about what I'm doing or anything like that. I'm just playing casually, and it's kind of fun to play casually in this game because it's very simple and straightforward. Even though there's that happens, which can be kind of annoying, because those guys can deal a fuck ton of damage. I'm going to swap with this Legion now, and let's get rid of this. Yeah, get a lot of health there. That's one other thing I like about this game, how you can get health from enemies. Like, one thing that pisses me off in games is health item drops. Well, there are health item drops, but I hate it when games don't heal you up for killing enemies. Like, they should reward enemy kills with health. Like, there's no excuse for that. Like, that's how games should be. No regenerating health either. Reward killing enemies with health. That's how it should be. That's exactly how Painkiller does it. I mean, health pickups are alright, but don't just have them. Have like a rewarding, like, reward for health points. Like, because health pickups are a big problem, like, especially when you run out and you're just like, what do I do? If I get hit once, I'm dead and I can't heal. And I've got the rest of the level to go. Like, that's one of the things that annoys me in, like, yeah, that I wasn't going to dodge that because I used the finisher, and that leaves you open. Oh, I was hoping I could actually hit him there. But I did want to play this with commentary at one point, because it's one of those games that's just, I don't know, that I just really wanted to play with commentary, I guess. Oh, so it's not him, it's this guy. So I'm going to lock onto this guy, you're the lucky one. I was hoping I could leap onto him, but it doesn't look like it. So yeah, when you're locked on, yeah, that didn't go as I planned. But at least I didn't get hit. Yeah, I'm not actually going to go for the Thanatos chips through that, because that's some of those annoying enemies. In fact, I think the best way to do this is probably to just kill these guys at range. And I've got fly buzzing around me, which is even better. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I really want to take out that spawner over there. If I can. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's doing much yet. Hopefully it's dealt some damage to it. Let's see if we can hit the guy from over here. I really need to upgrade Great Depression, because once it's fully upgraded, it becomes really handy, especially in a certain boss fight. Like, you really want it for a certain boss fight, so it becomes really handy then. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy to counter-attack, is it? But I can summon Guilt to deal with these guys, as they appear in front of me. Yeah, this guy doesn't really know what to do against Guilt, does he? That went really well with that. Unfortunately, they could not escape attack. I thought they could. But one of the skills in this game that you really want to learn is to like unsummon your Legion at the right time. Especially when dealing with these guys. So these guys have really telegraphed attacks, but they're usually easier to deal with using Legions. Early on at least. Yeah. He's going to attack with that, and now I can send Legions in again. So it's kind of like, I think one of the biggest issues that this game has, if anything, like with the whole Legion thing, is it's not really, it doesn't really work seamlessly with the actual gameplay of hacking and slashing. Like, it's kind of a separate entity from the whole hacking and slashing. Usually when you're using your Legions, you just stood still a lot of the time. But obviously, you want to mix it up and do the hacking and slashing and bring the Legions out to basically do things like this. Yeah, I'm trying to move them, but yeah, that's a better idea. Swap modes, and then I can summon this guy again. I can have them deal with this guy. And yeah, you can really have the Legions do all the hard work, but you don't want them to die. And looks like I'm going to have to do the rest of the work myself. But yeah, could have taken advantage of that, but yeah, that wasn't very good with that. Oh shit, these guys. They definitely aren't going to help things, are they? Might as well grab Thanatos' chip now. I wasn't originally going to grab it because, well, I'm probably not. I'm not even going to save. There's just no point in me grabbing it, but since I've triggered it, I might as well grab it. Like, because I did beat this game on normal, and it took ages. Just saying that. Whoops. I don't know what's going on there. Granted, I'm not controlling the camera right, but like, that's one thing I can definitely say. Like, the camera, for the most part, is pretty good, in a way. It just takes a bit of getting used to, though, because, yeah, but being able to focus in on, like, with this button is kind of a big deal. But I can probably have a look at my review and see if I can see if what I've said is true for it in that lot, see if I can see if this game can change my mind on anything, because it has been a while since I've played this game. But I will check to see what my review has to say. That wasn't actually intentional, I'm just trying to this guy wants to say hello, so I can do two things at once while they're just beating the living shit out of those spawners for me. I can do that, and the other thing I can do is get this, because that bit is metal and it kills them very quickly when you hit metal. And when you kill that guy, you get a life max up, which is really handy. I love how that guy's not even facing me. Unfortunately, there's another guy over there. But yeah, seems like they just keep spawning that one guy. At least I'm not dying this time. Let's see if I can hit the guy's head. That'd be a good idea. Actually, maybe not, because this guy is a organic life form, so I really didn't need to dodge that because I was right behind him. But I miss having like the ability to dodge in the middle of an attack. That is an awesome ability. Yeah, let's just snipe these guys. Let's just go together with them. There's another one down. It is cool that you do get to snipe these guys down and kill them quickly. Like, it's pretty cool what you can do with Malice. You can like direct their shots with like the sniper ability. I think even Arcia has the ability to do that. But yeah, that's the end of that. And next is the boss, so yeah. It's been ages since I've done this boss. Let's see if I can actually do it this time. I don't think I can, but I'll use some soul ups maybe, I don't know. I think the best thing to do with this boss at the moment is to just summon Guilt and see where that goes. I obviously have to lock onto him though, because this guy can do some nasty attacks. I didn't want to lock onto those guys though. That's why I wanted to lock onto him. Like, these enemies distract you. Whoops. That went well. Oh shit! That went horribly wrong. And you don't even have double jump at this point, so it's really hard to like not die. But yeah, this is where you really want to use the dodge roll a lot. I want to get some soul up, even though I don't really have any health up. Well, I do have 2 life ups, I guess, but I'm going to use a soul recovery. Because it's probably going to make things a lot easier for me if I do. Just to get rid of these ads here. Because they are a pain in the neck. Maybe hit the boss as well, but it helps deal with the ads as well. Fortunately, he's doing that attack, which is... Oh, shit! I have to get rid of him there. Yeah, it's easier if you just get Guilt to deal with the boss fight at first until you get more abilities. Oh, I don't know how I survived there. Oh shit! I jumped at the wrong time. I didn't know he was going to do that then. Oh, that was bad. Now I have to heal. I might actually get past him, I don't know. But a lot of this game, like, this boss especially comes down to using the legions. I was going to get hit by something right there. Best to just wail on him now. The problem is, these guys are everywhere. So, if I can just basically use Guilt on the guy, this might make things a little bit easier. And just time Guilt so that he doesn't die. Kill him myself. I'll deal with some of these ads over here. And try to keep focus. That was good! Yeah, I'm gonna use my soul up here. Because soul is basically the hit points of the legions, so if you plan on using legions, you want to get lots of soul. That went well. So now I need to use my last life up. Hopefully I can survive this. I really do want to focus in on the boss, but these ads are a pain. Not what I wanted to do. I'm going to use another soul up. That might make things easier. Yeah, there's a lot of going into menus when you're terrible at this game. I think he does the charging attack later on. But I haven't actually got that far yet. Like, his health has to be really low for him to do that. The next level's even worse, because... there we go. Aha, there we go, he's weak. Sorry. Oh, hang on. This is where we get to the second phase, isn't it? Fortunately for me, I'm ready for that. Yeah, I'm gonna let Guilt deal with this guy. I've honestly never seen him use that attack before. Maybe it's when you use legions on him. That went well. But yeah, I just like Guilt Flail on him, pretty much. It's the best way to me. But at least it gets rid of all the ads, so it makes things a lot easier. I mean, I probably can join in the fight, but... yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, just summon them and have them try and wail on him. Yeah, Guilt aren't really that strong, but the... oh, that was great, was that? That was wonderful positioning right there. I'm using the wrong button again. Yep, turning off my legions got me killed. Oh well. I don't know if I can retry the boss. Yeah, I can. Yeah, let's just retry this. Nice to get in that time. That's the attack I usually like to do, that diving attack. Because it's a lot easier to me. Like, it's interesting to note, as you can see, he doesn't hit everywhere with his attack. Oh shit, I'm trying to basically lock onto him. That's not going well. This is a good position to be because he will try and attack me, but my legions are blocking him. And I'm backed against the wall, so it's not really going to do much. At least at this point. He will do later, in the second phase. And once again, trying to save my legions actually gets me killed instead. That nearly got me killed. These guys are a bit too close for comfort, aren't they? I could have countered him, but got that guy though. Right. That was great, that. I don't want that. Yeah, it was either the legions or it was me, and I picked myself. I need to recover my soul first before I do anything. Believe it or not, this guy is not easy. So, you have to make sure you're in the right position before anything. Unfortunately, don't hit his weak point, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, it's good to have a nice view of what's going on, especially when that attack happens. I've noticed that the stutter isn't happening at the bottom of the video now for God knows what reason. I don't know why, but it isn't happening anymore. Right, let's just cut this guy apart. I don't care about if my legions get killed. I know I might sound like a dick, but these guys are called guilt, for heaven's sake. Right. Because what this guy likes to do is he likes to do that, and that gets him in a compromising position, so you can rape him with your legions. I really should have done this the first time. Now he's gonna try something else. That move. But of course he turns a full 360. That was mistimed, that dodge. Horribly mistimed. Yeah, I should have got him. Pretty much. Second time's the charm. That's what I say. Finally, we get a decent legion. That damn time. But yeah. Think. Oh yeah. This scene. I remember when I recorded the game, like originally, and I got to this scene, I had to record it again because it didn't capture for God knows what reason. So I had to do a second recording of this. This next bit's pretty funny, because it's kind of like a reference to Final Fantasy IX. You'll know what I mean when you see it. This game is full of Final Fantasy references if you haven't already guessed. I mean, just look at him. He's basically Squall. She's basically Garnet. And the other guy, well, if you can't guess what the other guy is, then there's nothing else I can say. Even if I told you, you still wouldn't understand. Like,
they were my precious family. Thanks for saving me. I'm Arcia. I'm one of the Maidens of the Silver. Recently, the
it's a bit of delay on
the
that
Order
lip
had
sync.
traced
I
the
don't know.
whereabouts of Lord Delacroix.
It's not bad, I suppose.
I was ordered to act as a scout and pursue him, so I separated from the head unit and came here to gather information. But how could this have happened?
I love how he just stands there and says
It
nothing.
looks like he's headed for the ruins of Merdoa. Do you know him?
Like, look at this dude. He's like literally Squall.
You shouldn't concern yourself
If he
with that.
dyed his hair red to look more edgy. That's what Zeke is. He is literally the happiest man on earth. But yeah, I got a B rank. Brilliant. B for brilliant. Fortunately, I did get that. I'll probably save because I might actually continue this so that I can get more footage. But I'll get a new save. Because, like, it's weird because I have this, the easy playthrough. This is what I did on my Let's Play. On the Let's Play not Let's Play, it wasn't a Let's Play really, it was a playthrough. I played through the game on easy, and yeah, it was shit. So, I tried a hard playthrough with Arcia, but yeah. Let's get rid of this easy playthrough, I don't freaking need it. But yeah, I'm done with the stream. So I'll see you guys later. I know it was a bit rough around the edges this stream, it still is, I can still see the problems happening. But I hope it was something. So, see you guys. If my mouse actually decides that it's going to move today.